It's the end of the year, and it's a time for reflecting and learning from our mistakes. So, I'm sorry, I cannot take myself seriously. Okay, I make videos about DIYs and recipes, and you only get to see the ones that work out. Until today. Today, I thought we'd lift the veil of mystery and look at a couple of projects that, for various reasons, did not quite work out. These are not even my worst failures. There's a couple of times where I've literally rage quit and immediately deleted all the footage and pretended they never happened. The first one I was so excited for. Violet ink. I was going to use the same method as for the blackberry ink I made a while back. I spent hours on my hands and knees collecting violets. I put them on the stove with a bit of water and citric acid and nothing happened. Complete waste of time. I might try again next spring and press out the juice instead of applying heat. Next up, and almost as heartbreaking, I tried to decorate a side table with fabric decoupage. I had this fairly ugly IKEA side table since, I think it's actually from the 80s. I started by applying a stain, and looking back, I should have just stopped right there. Hindsight 20/28. I decided I wanted it to be cuter, and I had a pot of decoupage glue and a dream. So I chose this quite dark purple fabric with the little flowers, which I love, but I only had a stripe of it. Maybe for the first time doing fabric decoupage, I should have used a fabric piece that's large enough to actually cover the whole tabletop. But I only had a narrow stripe, so I cut it and pieced it together, and from there I followed the directions on the pot of glue. One layer of glue below, placed a piece, and another layer of glue on top. Then I fiddled around with the corners where the tabletop meets the feet, and that was the spot where I actually thought I was going to run into trouble, but they actually turned out all right. So after the glue dried, it looked really streaky and horrible. When the light is kind, it looks great. The problem is that the light is rarely kind. So I panicked a little bit and I tried to rescue things by spray painting fern leaves on top of the whole mess. And I'm still not sure if I used too much glue or not enough, if I pulled on the fabric too much or not enough, I don't know. Well, it's objectively not great, but I like it better than before. And there's a plant sitting on top anyways, so, you know. If anyone does a lot of decoupage and can identify the issue, I'd be forever grateful. I still have a couple of other ideas for the decoupage, but at this point I'm just too scared of messing up again, so all those projects are on hold. Maybe I just need to practice. Alright, the last one. This one was super annoying. I was making a hops wreath. Looks good, right? So where is the problem? Well, I filmed myself untangling all the vines, and you are being forced to watch all this footage so I get at least some use out of it. Then I filmed myself taking all the leaves off while preserving the blossoms on the vines. All good so far. And then I set up the camera and I thought I was being like beautifully framed with the garage door with the vines hanging down. And then the camera nodded down and I did not notice. So I spent half an hour demonstrating making a wreath and none of it was in frame. I think this might be my villain origin story. But the wreath turned out real nice, so, you know. I still viscerally remember the feeling of looking at that footage for the first time. Anyways, I hope you got a laugh out of this. Next week, I'm doing a video about my New Year's resolutions from last year and how those turned out. I hope to see you then. Bye!